talking about Sentinels because Sentinels went through to the playoffs at Masters Toronto, but in my opinion, it wasn't even Sentinels playing that great. I don't know what you Sen fans think, but I thought that they played okay, but not amazingly. But yet they still managed to win both those games. And I think in large part, it had to do with somewhat their aura and experience. Because as we're going to see in this video, BLG were making some pretty big mistakes when it came time to actually try and win the game. So let's dive into it then, and we're going to start off with round number 15. And in round number 15, well, the stars of this video really are going to be these two, and we are going to focus mostly on towards this A site here as well, with Russia and YZ. So Russia's playing Omen, YZ on Raze, and we're just going to see that in this second half, and I would say, look, these two are BLG's best two players, and they played some incredible games, before, and have won them games. But in this map, I would say they cost BLG the game with some of their decisions here, because what we'll see is this round, they're going to go for this A reclear, and this is all fine. And Sen do a pretty good job here, I think, of saying, okay, we're out of there, we survived the reclear, and then they're just going to come and bait out all this util, right? So they fake as if they're going for a fast B exec, that baits out the thorns just here, and then they're going to go over towards C and try and bait out the wall as well. So you see Narrate, he's trying to bait out the wall, he doesn't quite manage to do it just there, and it's just a bit too deep for him, so he doesn't want to, just risk his life for that. But then they hop away, and they're going to come back over towards A after getting this ult up, and we're going to focus a lot on A here, right? But the thing is, right now, okay, Sen have baited out some util, but, it's still 40 seconds left, right? And they don't have much control. And again, Sen are going to do a good job here in terms of just walking out silently, right? So they walk out silently, but here's the thing. I don't get what Russia is going to do here, because he's going to smoke off. It's 32, 31 seconds left when he's going to go for this smoke, right? So he's going to put a smoke here with 32 seconds left. Now, again, they haven't put this wall up, Sentinels, so, I can understand partly what he's thinking there, that they haven't put this wall up, so, they aren't out yet. But that's just well played by Sentinels, I suppose. But I just find it a bit bizarre that he put this smoke down with 32 seconds left when, I think it's much more likely that Sen might be grouping up to do a B exec. In theory, they could be coming back to do a C exec after this flash hadn't seen them. Like, there are potentials here for Sen, and we've just used a smoke here with 32 seconds. That feels a little... I don't know, maybe feels a bit weird from me, but now just take a look. Again, we're going to see some nice anti-strat here by Sen, but also, again, just BLG. What are these two doing?
30 seconds left.
Calling it, he knows what the situation is. YZ, does he try to timing this? He goes through the molly!
Vulnerable and Army, too easy to bring down, and Sentinels here have gotten exactly what they were looking for. Drawing Billy out of it!
And that right there is how you lose a bonus round, okay? So... this one here from YZ, this to me does feel like, Sen had a decent idea that, YZ likes to do this. And you can tell that because, well, one, sometimes when you're doing this late, right, you don't always even smoke this off, right? This isn't a guaranteed we're always going to smoke that off, even if the door is open, right? You will find there are quite a few teams who might not even do that, right? And kind of use their Viper wall to just kind of sneak as far up as they can and then just go. But Sen have smoked it off. They're going to put their Viper orb here as well, so they do still have enough smokes to, fully come towards the A site here. But also, you can tell that, this to me seems like a bit of an anti-strat, because they also shoot a snakebite here, right? Like, they don't know that YZ is here for certain. It's not a guarantee that he's here. But they shoot that snakebite, and then he just does that anyway. Right? So, I mean, it's good anti by Sen, right? Or at least I think it is, or, whatever. It's a snakebite that helps them get that kill for John just there. But then it's not even that. You might be like, oh, well, that's that, right? But the way that Russia dies, because Russia dies to Zekken. Right, here's the thing that you need to know. He dies from here. He doesn't die from someone in tree. And he puts himself actually in the open. He's just in the open here to Zekken. So Zekken comes around this corner. And he just has a free kill on this guy. So this is what I mean. Like, these two players in particular over towards A, they really, really struggled. And if we come to the very next round, what we've got is obviously a bit of an eco here for BLG. And Russia has gone with a judge. But again, just take a look at how he dies.
Side. Pretty standard. We have Zelsis obviously watch C. He's got the Outlaw in hand to punish a push-up. And BLG, do they want this fight again?
Okay, so, he's got a judge. I understand what he's trying to do here, right? He's trying to get his judge and go, okay, I'm going to come up here and, just get as close as I can and then kill you with a judge, right? If you try and come out A. Perfectly fine idea, but the way that these two go about this makes no sense. Right, if you want to get a judge up here, well, one, you see this smoke over here, he's smoking over towards C. Well, if you want to get a judge up here, don't do that. right? Forget everyone else. They can figure out their own stuff. You got to get up here first, right? So what you want to do is you probably want to, you know, I mean, the Fade is going to send a Fade Horn over here. I might even say it might be better to have the Fade here with you as well. You know, throw kind of a Seize Nade over here, Paranoia here, get the Omen here, you know, running up. Like, that's probably what you want to do. You know, you really want to push these guys out of here, right? And if there's no one there, sure, fine, whatever. But then we can just leave you with a Judge here and everyone else rotate, right? So we're going to need to use some amount of util here. What do we do instead? We throw one nade. And then we slowly walk up, opening the door as slow as we can. Bro, you don't control this wall. I mean, how often do you see someone die like this in a tier 1 pro game? But the panic for BLG did not stop there, because if we skip ahead to round number 20 now, we're going to see very similar things. So again, Sen are going to start with this C default. They're going to come over towards C, take some space just here, like they did before. And then about the minute mark, as we've seen before, they're going to come over towards A. And what happens over towards A, I mean, again, it's just kind of unbelievable. Because, I mean, you will have seen this Viper Wall before. You know why? Because this Viper Wall has been on this map pretty much as long as this map has existed. Right, Fnatic were doing it in 2023. We got the op here for YZ. The Prowler comes out. They're re-clearing A with a minute left. Let's see what our boys Rusher and YZ, let's see what they do.
Enough away that it actually doesn't need to be shot at. Now the second wave, Paranoia thrown in. This is awkward. Zek not affected by it, but the rest of Sentinels are. Now though, time to burst forward. Wall comes down, and so does YZ. That's the op out of the game. Russia has to ult from the shadows to TP back to his spawn for safety, and that opens this side of the map up for Sentinels.
Second is taking so much space. Russia wants to get back there, but
Okay, so let's talk about it. And I know what some of you are already thinking in this video. You're thinking, yeah, but BLG, this is how they play. You know, they play an extremely risky style and all that. And yeah, that is true. And sometimes when you play this super risky style, it's going to be, you know, you're going to get some rewards, you're going to get not some rewards, right? The thing is with this, YZ is in a position here. He's playing Raze. He cannot escape this, right? Almost never will he be actually able to escape this because, I mean, if there are multiple people here, how is he, like, he might get one kill, right? But at max, he's going 1 for 1. As it turns out, he doesn't. He gets picked off. I mean, what do you? I mean, look at where he's opping here, right? Think of all the different positions people could be in, you know, and all the different elevations they could be in. You know, obviously we see that Zekken is here, but Zekken could also be lower down here on the right-hand side as well. You know, there's just so many different things he has to aim at there with an op that you just, I don't know. It's incredibly risky. And maybe he gets one there, and then, okay, Russia gets out. The thing about Russia here, right? You can say for YZ's death there that, oh, that's just BLG. You know, they take extreme risks. He's, remember, look at where Zekken is now. Okay? Zekken is here now, right? Looking at heaven. Remember, he's going to just run knife out, jump back in onto the site. Zekken is already here. Zekken's not even the one that gets the kill. But Zekken is already here. And Russia is going to knife out, jump onto the site. I mean, that's not taking a risk. That is just, we're playing on autopilot. We're not thinking at all. The fact that someone can even, like, because of where you TP'd, like, if he TP'd, you know, to like the back of the A site, then sure, we might have been fine. But he TP'd so far away, probably in the panic of the moment. But then you can't do this. And like literally then the rest of the round is over, right? These guys just go, well, we just got to save, which happened multiple times, as we've already seen, that basically these two just died on A. And that was it. That was the round. And then very fittingly, the game ended with Russia and YZ again somehow messing up a situation that felt pretty unlosable, right? This round actually starts off pretty well for them. Bang is actually maybe a bit mindless here, getting a bit too aggressive, and dies to Russia there and basically gives him a free kill. So okay, that's one, and then, you know, send bait out the Razor off the back of that, and you know, manage to survive. But still, BLG, you know, it's a 5v4, it's fine. And at this point, you know, you're thinking BLG, they need to win 3 in a row. You know, they've got some ults still. You know, Sen come over towards C. They bait out the Viper's pit just there. But okay, you know, that means that they're not going to go C now, right? Like, you're in a decent spot. You can now just, you know, have 2 players watching towards B, 2 players watching towards A, and we're going to be okay, right? And Sen, this time starts ticking down again. Smoke comes out here on B. You know, they do bait out some util, but again, you can see they're not in a good spot. And now 30 seconds left. They're coming back over towards A. And again, you're like, oh, BLG, they're in a really good spot here, but how they lose this is pretty tragic.
YZ, does he dare jump up?
Shot through the box, he needs to see over this wall and can't quite, so that's free access now gained by Sentinels. Rushia though is ready. Pure stopping power. This time it's a Guardian shot to John QT's cranium. 12 seconds left. Sentinels have to go. Zek getting sprayed down, but is able to find Rushia. Why is he trying to disrupt with the blast pack, but he gets caught out. Knight deals with narrate.
Yeah. I cannot believe that this happened. This is truly unbelievable, and it's almost unlosable, right? Like, of the ways to lose this, because we just got, like, an insane paranoia from Rushia, right? So he just sends this insane paranoia. You just see the end of it here. It absolutely destroys these three players. There's only 19 seconds left. Like, it, you know, he gets this kill. It's a 5v3. The smoke comes down. There's two of you watching this smoke. You know where the spike is. This round is literally just absolutely over. Right, it's absolutely over. Again, this is one of those rounds. It is hard to concoct ways to lose. Right, like, it's almost one of those rounds where if they literally did nothing, they might win. Like, Sen might not even try because it's so unwinnable. Right, like, if they legit just took their hands off the keyboard and mouse, they might win still. That's how unlosable this is. And yet, for some reason, we start spamming into this smoke. We don't need to spam in the smoke. We're in a great spot. We just need to wait for you to try and come out, which you have to do if you want to win the round. Not only do we spam the smoke, which costs us both of our lives, because you're going to spam with a Guardian, so Zekan sees the traces, spams back, kills you, which is, again, what they want. They want to spam, right? Like, that's what they want to do, because they want to get a free kill like this, you know, a random kill. What you also cannot do, you cannot spam every single bullet so that you have to pull out a classic so that you also die. I mean, again, if he just spams... I mean, again, we don't need to spam. We can just hold the smoke and be absolutely fine and guarantee win the round. But again, we somehow managed to concoct a way, and yes, they are going to lose this round.
And Zelsis, back to back for the series.
Steel Garden should be connecting onto both, though. Zelsis on the run. Zekan just has the shorty trying to play backside, but the showstopper as well. He got that with the spike going down.
Zelsis is going to be jumped on in trees, got nowhere to go. Primaries are available again! And back to back! Zekan and Zelsis put Neff in a solo situation. Signed, sealed, delivered. Sen City are back in a Masters play.